Welcome back to Let's Talk Finances with Dr. Nina White. We are on season 2, episode 2. Can you all believe it? I'm super excited. Listen, today we're going to be talking about from awareness to execution. Why knowing isn't enough, right? So listen, last week we talked about financial leadership and the gap between success and financial confidence. We talked about how income alone doesn't eliminate stress because leadership, not income, creates clarity, right? But today, we're taking that conversation one step further because here's the truth. Most people already know what they should be doing financially. They should know how to save already, how to budget better, invest consistently, and plan for those taxes, right? But knowing and doing are two completely different things. So today's question is, why do so many people stay stuck between awareness and execution? So let's talk about it. What I tell y'all every week, get your pen and your pad, call your family in the room, text someone, and let them know that we're on because we're getting ready to get started. Let me start with something that I see all the time. People are not lacking information, right? They're overloaded with it. You got social media, podcasts, you got YouTube. Financial advice is everywhere, right? And yet there's no movement. So let's talk about some examples, okay? You all know I love to give you all examples. So I had a client very informed, right, because they love social media, could have been explaining investments, right, to people all the time. They're talking about investments. They're listening to it all on social media. So she understood the foundation of it, the index funds, compound interest, and retirement accounts. But when we asked the question, are you investing consistently? She said, not yet. So I'm still trying to figure out the best approach because at this point, you're talking about it, you know about it, but you're not doing it. She said, I've been trying to figure out what to do. This is for 2 years. You've been trying to figure it out. That's the gap, right? Knowledge without execution creates frustration because you know better, but nothing is changing, right? So why so many people out here, and listen, I hear it. I have clients send me text messages and TikTok links and Instagram links on something that they heard, right? They don't give you all of the information. They just give you enough to hook you in so that you can reach out to them, right? So here's another example. A business owner who knows they need better bookkeeping, knows it, absolutely knows it. But every month, he says, I'll get to it. Months turns into a year. But same thing, I'll get to it. I know I need it, right? By the time this person reached us, the financials were completely behind. The tax prep was stressful. And then you had decisions that were delayed. This is what we've been talking about. I've been telling you all about making sure you know your numbers and being prepared, right? But as a business owner, sometimes we run into situations where we do fall short and we do get behind. But at the same time, get the help that you need. So when someone comes into our office and everything is just discombobulated, the first thing we offer are accounting services so they can get their financials in order. He knew about bookkeeping, but he didn't put in no action, right? So why didn't he act? Why didn't he do it? He was like, I can't afford it. Sir, you're making over $200,000 a year. You can afford it. But the thing is, you don't want to stop, pause. Y'all know I talk about that pause. Don't want to stop and pause and get the help. And yet you want to bring tons and tons of receipts in at the end of the year. Now you're paying extra because we got to now do admin work before we can actually do the tax side of it, right? So this is why you need to make sure that you have someone take care of those books for you. So this is really what happened, right? Execution requires decision making, discipline, systems, and accountability. You have to be accountable for your actions. Don't try to throw it off on someone else. Be accountable for what you have done, right? What you've done or did not do. Make sure you're accountable. And most people are waiting to feel like they're ready. Like, I may be ready. Once I get everything in order, then I'll come to you. That's the reason why you need to come, because you don't have everything in order, right? But financial leadership doesn't wait for perfect timing. There's no time limit on this, getting all your ducks in a row. Get it done now. Start now. Don't wait until you have a mess in front of you, right? It creates momentum through action, right? You have to be able to do this. Even the smallest action, even the smallest, just starting, getting started. Just get started, right? So CFOs don't sit and analyze forever. Remember I told you all last week that was something that I used to do? Still do, I'm still working on it. They're analyzing, overthinking piece, right? But as CFOs, they decide, right? They implement and they adjust. That's the difference, right? I told you all about that CFO thinking, that mindset. You got to change the way you think about your numbers, no matter what. If it's investing, no matter what it is, right? Savings, anything. You have to have a way. You got to think positive, think a different way. Do that mindset shift when it comes to your finances. So what happens when you don't take action, right? So let's talk about what actually holds people back. This may hit home for a lot of you. First things first, fear of making the wrong decision. All the time, may be scared to do it, right? People think, what if I invest wrong? What if I choose the wrong strategy? What if I mess up? So instead, they just do nothing, absolutely nothing. But doing nothing is also a decision. And it's often most the expensive one, right? So the first thing, again, fear of making the wrong decision. Second, overcomplication, right? People believe everything has to be perfect before they start. Perfect budget, perfect plan, perfect timing. But progress doesn't require perfection, okay? Again, it requires consistency. Consistency, right? I had a client who avoided budgeting for years because she thought that it had to be detailed and time consuming. So, just chose not to do it, right? But she didn't have to do that. She should have just started. But again, that's that overthinking, overanalyzing, because she was like, well, I got to make sure it's perfect before I bring it in. I got to make sure I do this and that. We're going to fill in the missing pieces for you, right? We're going to do that. So we just simplified it. Income, fixed expenses, variable spending, and savings goals. Something simple. You don't have to make it bigger than what it is. And sometimes that's what we do. We make it so much bigger. And it doesn't even take that, right? It absolutely doesn't take that. So, within 60 days, she had more control than she ever had in years. That made her feel better. Why? Because we simplified it for her. And it's just it. Simple works. It just works. The third thing is lack of structure. Without systems, everything feels harder than it needs to be, right? If savings depends on what's left over, it won't happen consistently because you're worried about what's left. So you're not going to consistently be saving, right? If investing depends on remembering, it gets delayed. If bookkeeping depends on free time, it gets pushed aside. Structure removes friction, right? Automation builds consistency. That's leadership. Listen, for my own personal, right, business, systems, you have to put those in place no matter what. And a lot of times, we individuals, business owners, you don't put systems in place. As an individual, you can set up, the ACH, so things are just coming out, all on time. So you're not worrying about, oh, did I pay that? Did I send that check off? Did I send that money order off? Did I do this? Did I call? Because now you're trying to remember, right? Trying to remember what you did or did not do. In business, we need systems in place. You need to be able to have those things in place. Training guides when you're hiring someone. You got to have things in place so that you're not taking the long road. Anytime I hire someone, I will always say, what can you add to M&D accounting, right? Not so much, yes, you got experience, but what do you feel that you can add to the business that's not currently going on? Majority of the time, they'll say, well, I need to work and see what you do. Probably after 1 or 2 weeks of the employees seeing what I do, they'll come to me, well, Miss Nina, what about this? What about that? And I'm saying, well, put it into place, present it to me, and let's make it work, right? And so they'll do that. So now just putting those systems in place. I said, listen, I like the younger minds. They're coming fresh out of college, and they're bringing that stuff in. I'm still trying to figure out certain things. I still like my pen and paper, though. Okay. Fourth, no accountability, right? You're not being held accountable. When no one is reviewing your financials, right, it's easy to delay them. Y'all know I'm going to talk about these numbers. Y'all know that. That's what I do. That's why many high performers work with advisors. That's why I keep saying, get with someone that can help you. Preferably M&D accounting, of course, but get with someone that can help you, someone that has more knowledge of it to be able to advise you, right? Not because of the lack of intelligence, but because the value, the structure, and the accountability. That's one thing that, that sets us apart from a lot of other accountants in the area is the value that we add. I hear so many times, I didn't know this and I didn't know that. Oh, the last person I went to never told me that. That's because I want to educate. It's important that they understand it. Not just me handing you a pack of papers and sending you on your way. You need to be able to understand what it is, right? So let's move on. Let's talk about some solutions. How do you move from awareness to execution? One of my favorite clients, that's his favorite word, execution. You gotta execute, right? So the first thing you want to do is simplify your starting point. Just simplify it. Don't overthink it. Simplify that. You don't need a perfect financial plan. You absolutely don't. Just start. You don't need it to be perfect. You just need to start the structure. That's it. And that can be setting up automatic savings. Didn't I just say that? Opening up an investment account, scheduling a monthly financial review, organizing your accounts. See how simple that is? 4 little steps. 4, not 25. 4 little steps. Start where you are. Start where you are. Listen, I hear that every single Sunday. Start where you are. Stop trying to do so much. Stop trying to live above your means. Just start where you are. It's the little things. Second thing is automate wherever possible. Some places don't do, automation. Sometimes you just got to mail it in, right? They might not take it over the phone. You can't call it. So just figure out what of your financials that you need to be able to automate and what can't be automated. Put it on a calendar. Put it on a whiteboard. Something. Put it in your phone. Give yourself reminders. So when money moves, so the money can move automatically, right? And when that happens, Savings grow. The investments stay consistent. And the bills stay current. Automation, getting those systems in place, right? So now, one of the clients automated 15% of her income into savings and investments. Within a year, she built more consistency than she had in the previous 5 years. Not because she tried harder, but she built a system. She put a system in place. So now it's like, oh my goodness, I got more than I've ever had, all because I took the time to start somewhere, right? Third thing, schedule your financial leadership time. Just like meetings, just like business priorities, right? Your finances deserve time on your calendar. That's when I started telling you, get with someone. Get with someone. It doesn't hurt. It absolutely does not hurt for you to do that. Monthly, review spending, savings, and accounts. Quarterly, adjust strategy, revisit goals. Annually, plan taxes, investments, long-term vision. Leadership is not occasional, it's consistent. Consistency is the key to breakthrough. I get that from my pastor. You have to stay consistent. Because if you don't, again, things are going to be chaotic and you're going to be trying to figure it out, right? Okay, fourth, get support where needed. And let's talk about the honesty part of it, right? You want to get the support, but you also want to be honest. You don't have to do everything alone. And if you're unsure about it, ask. Everything is going to be okay. Just get started, right? Your tax situation may be different. Your business structure may be different. Your financial organization. All of this, right? This is the time to get clarity. Listen, we are at the end, right? We are at the end of going into tax season. We're at the end. April 15th is around the corner. Before you blink, it's going to be April the 15th. And so many people just don't have things in place. Remember, I told you, tax season is not the time to start planning, right? You need to begin that at the beginning of the year. Start somewhere. Start small. Don't try to throw all your eggs in one basket. It's okay. It is truly okay to be able to get some help. But now it's crunch time. It is crunch time. We have been bombarded in our office because why? It is crunch time. And now people are like, I got to get my taxes done. And why are you waiting to the last minute? Like this is the question that we always ask. So for us, we put a deadline in place. And boy, those clients are like, I don't like that at all. But you got to set boundaries. You have to set boundaries because at the end of the day, we're trying to teach you something, right? We're trying to teach you something. So I'm just going to go back so that you all can remember. So the first things first, simplify your starting point, right? Second, automate wherever possible. Third, schedule your financial leadership time. I'm going to emphasize that. Schedule your financial leadership time. Get with someone that can help you with your finances. Listen, start somewhere. Y'all remember I was talking about that 50-30-20 rule last season. Go back, rewatch it, and just play it over and over again. It's important that you review, get that time aside, schedule that leadership time about your finances. And fourth, get support where needed. Stop trying to do it alone. Get the help. So I want to tell you, let me leave you with this, right? Awareness is powerful, but execution is transformational. You don't build financial confidence by knowing more. You build it by being consistent. That's it. Consistency. Stay consistent. Small decisions repeated over time with structure and intention. You definitely need to be intentional about this. We're in a new year. We literally just said Happy New Year, and April is here, right? Be intentional about your savings. Every year, people have set goals and say, I'm going to save this amount of money and I'm going to do this, but they don't start. They can start with $1. It's okay. Start somewhere. Small decisions repeated over time with structure and intention. That's how leadership shows up. That's how it will show up for you. That's how the stress decreases. We got good stress and we got bad stress. In this case, it's bad stress, and you want to decrease it, right? That's how the wealth is built. We want to talk about building wealth, remember? So listen, if you're ready to move awareness to execution, you already know M&D Accounting is here for you, right? Here to support you every single step of the way. Whether you need financial structure, strategic planning, business finance guidance, or CFO level insight, listen, our team is here to help you and help you with the clarity and confidence. We want to help you take your business, your personal finances to the next level. You know, you can call our office directly at 1-877-839-7778. Again, that number is 1-877-839-7778. And if you have a question and you would like us to address it on the next episode, send it in. Text it, 844-436-2788. Text it again, 844-436-2788. Our QR code's probably floating around here right about now. You also can email us at contactus@mdaccounting.org. Again, contact us at mdaccounting.org. I'm Dr. Nina White. Thank you so much for joining me on Let's Talk Finances. Take action, stay consistent, lead your finances, and I'll see you next week.